Hey, everybody. Thank y'all for tuning in to another great episode of LaQuinta's Chatterbox. And guess who I got with me tonight? Y'all, we always do things with the women. We always getting women point of view on everything, and we're always testing their blood. So July happened to be, we dedicated that to the men. Check that out.
That's what's up.
We want to dedicate this to the men, especially the men that's doing positive things in the community. So, you guys, guess who I have with me? I know y'all know him. Who, if you don't know him,
What up? What up? It's your boy Motivational Marcus. Marcus White. Marcus the barber. Marcus knows something. I'm just a young man trying to make it happen.
hey. Now, you just said Marcus, the barber, Marcus, motivation. So, when you talk about the motivation, we're going to get on that in just a minute. But let's talk about this 10K.
10K.
10K. So do y'all know him by 10K?
A lot of people, yeah.
10K. Because let me tell you something. I found out it's 10K. It was 10K dance studio, 10K detail, 10K janitorial, 10K. What else?
Yeah, barbershop.
Cut.
10K barber lounge. 10K dance studio. Funny Money comedy show. Man, we had 10K everything.
10K everything.
You know.
If you name it, they had it. So let me ask you this: how did y'all come up with 10? Were you, because you are the face of 10K? How did you come up with 10K?
Just coming up in the game and just wanting to brand myself, and I had to find something that kind of meant something to me. So my way at 10K was 10,000 ways to hustle.
Okay.
Because I came up in the area, was like, one hustle ain't gonna do it no more. You got to have more than one job.
Have more than one.
So I started 10K, and that's 10,000 ways to hustle.
10,000 ways to hustle. Yeah. So I want to tell y'all the reason I wanted Marcus on the show. I've been watching so much going on in the community, so much violence, these young people going to the wayside. And I end up researching you, and I researched your story. And it was only because of your motivational that you give every day. I want you to keep doing that, because when I tell you people are paying attention, we are definitely paying attention. And you are motivating us all. You motivated me to have you here. So let's go all the way back to Lil Marcus.
Lil Marcus.
11-year-old cutting hair Marcus.
Yes,
so yeah, I know he was cutting hair at age 11. Yeah. So when we go back to Lil Marcus, age 11, tell me about your environment and what you had going on.
11. Long story short, it was rough. You know what I'm saying? I grew up I'm from Little Rock.
Okay.
From the west side, right over there off Asher. You go back up in there, that's where I was, born and raised at. Been in foster care. I was in foster care since I was 9. You know what I'm saying? So just kind of being stripped away, from my mama and my real family, it's just kind of, I took a turn, you know what I'm saying? And I was bad as shit. I was bad, but God worked in mysterious ways. So he kind of already was working it out for me. I never knew I'd be cutting hair. It just, like I say, my mama got 12 kids. So we're 5 boys in one house. So, me starting to cut hair.
12 siblings or 11 siblings. That's a challenge in itself.
Yeah, it is. But that's how they was having kids back then.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So mama was one of the ones, she had 12. Like I say, foster care at 9. They probably took all my mama kids off from which ones that wasn't grown at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I say, being in foster care, 5 boys in one house, we weren't going to the barbershop. Shit, we probably go to the barbershop twice a year.
Okay, so that's from your upbringing. That was the reason you end up going into, because I heard one of your testimonies. One, you was talking about when you was in juvenile.
Yes.
And you got out at age 18, correct?
Yes.
So when you got out at age 18, tell me about that.
When I got out of juvenile at 18, I went straight to barber school. I was on house arrest for 30 days. I'm going to take you back a little bit before then. I was in juvenile. First of all, I was 17. I was only one credit over classified as a 10th grader.
Okay.
So I was sucked at school.
Right.
So
Right.
when I was kept going to jail, they told me that last time I'd have been to every juvenile facility they got around here.
Oh wow.
So it was like we ain't got nowhere else to send you. So it was like I had to get my GED because I was 17, finna turn 18. So I finally did that. Took me like 3 times to get my GED. Finally got it, and they said, we want you to go to some form of school when we let you out.
Okay.
So I'm like, school, So when they ran the list, I think Barber College was like the third name. And I had been cutting since I was 11, but I never even knew you had to go to barber school to be a barber. I just thought it's some people that did.
Just did it.
When they said that, I said, that's where I want to go. So then it allowed me to get around older guys that had already kind of made the mistakes. And they was like, hey, man, stay in school. What you doing? I wish I would have did what you did. I'd have been in prison. I done did this. And I'm looking at them. It's the same thing from the lifestyle that I seen coming up. So it was relatable. And it was just a way out. So, I ain't never looked back. That was 18, 33.
Oh, wow. So when they say you just a product of your environment, is that true? Because it seemed like you changed that stigma.
It's true to a certain degree. It's all about the individual. Is that they going to listen? Because you think about it, people telling us along the way.
That's right.
It's just if we're going to listen or not. They telling us, hey, boy, do this, do that. Woo, woo. You going to end up like this. You think this. They telling us. We just not listening. But, it's another thing that you can only grow to what you're exposed to.
That's right.
So when you get to getting around people like I did when I was in barber school, I'm looking up to the dope dealers in the neighborhood, and then I get to barber school and I'm seeing, they clean, they got bankrolls, but they doing something
the legal way.
So, and I grew to that environment. So I was exposed to it and I grew to it,
So what would you say to the young men out here that their environment, they just been a product of their environment, of the stealing, the robbing, the getting in trouble? What would you say to them when they say, oh man, it's not that easy?
I would first tell them, I understand, what I'm saying? Because I do understand, but it's up to you. I also tell them it's up to you, because it really is easy nowadays, in the sense of a way, especially for the younger generation. So they just got to take the time to say, what I'm saying, is you willing to lock in for 6 months and cut out all distractions. Let me focus on this. Even if it's just saying, doing like you podcast, you can say 6 months, I'm finna work on this podcast. I'm going to do this. And a lot of times people don't understand 6 months. That's like a good goal point.
Right.
6 months, you can make some shit happen in 6 months.
That's true. That's true.
So
you started, let me ask you this. When did you start the Motivational Marcus?
I started that kind of around about 28.
28.
Maybe started tampering with it about 26. My dad had pastor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so my dad had pastor, grew up in the church, and that just kind of my way of kind of giving back in the way that what I'm saying, this I'm comfortable.
So they always say pastor kids are the worst children. And you said it yourself, you stayed in trouble. You want to do everything but the right thing, knowing you was taught the right way. As a lot of children are taught the right way, but they choose to go the wrong way. What made you want to choose to go the wrong way, knowing of your upbringing?
Me honestly was just looking around, and the proof is in the pudding. So I done grew up time. I done seen some of the biggest dope dealers. I done seen them. But one thing about it, they all disappear. And I'm like, damn. And then I started, researching and reading, and I always one question would say, if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. But what's gonna make you different? We look at that Nino Brown, we look at that Scarface, we look at some of the best stuff.
That's right.
We ain't even got the resources they got. So what's gonna make you different? It's a rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying? So I started to understand that and was like, business is the key. Business is really the key. Because you can start, from a small business and build it to a $1 million corporation.
Okay, that's true.
So, and you ain't got to look over your shoulders doing it.
So let me ask you this, because I'm getting in your personal just a little bit, and I'm gonna show you where I'm going with this. Are you involved with someone?
Yes.
So how important was it having the woman in your life to con- continue to stay on your journey? Like, what role did she end up playing, or did she play a role? Because I always heard that, we are, the man is as strong as his woman.
Yes. Yes. It's always a role to play. It's always a role to play. You know what I'm saying? I ain't ask you to be superwoman. It's the simple stuff that matters. That can take a load off a man. Like, shit, you encourage a man, lift him up. Shit, he go out here conquer the world.
Conquer
People,
the
you know what
world.
I'm saying? A lot of women don't understand that, but I work on communication a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's big for me in a relationship, like communication,
Because I watch your page and I watch you, and I can tell that you love the woman that you're with, and you get a lot of men. And me and my team had a talk about men. This day it seems like men just really do not like women. They love the things that women can do for them, but they just don't like women. They don't like our attitude. They don't like our emotions. They just don't like us.
yeah.
What do you think? Like, what is the reason for men just not liking us?
I think because we're in a time right now that it's like that a women, it's like going, a lot of women, I ain't gonna say all women, it's like going in the store. You know, Grown people do what they want, boys do what they can. And women, like, they set the tone for that now. A lot of women, they set the tone for that. I don't want no broke nigga. I ain't doing, you know what I'm saying? So, man, it's
It's
just
like we got standards now. We know our worth.
yes, but see, that's what I tell you. Like, I'm in the barbershop with her, so that's what I tell a lot of men. Like, I feel like as men, a lot of us don't have standards.
True.
You know what I'm saying? We kind of settle for what we can get.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, first, but you got to be real with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because once the moment you settle, it's gonna come back. It's gonna bite you in the ass. Now you mad? Oh, man, I can't stand this bitch. You know what I'm saying? It just, oh, that's the relationship shit. Don't get me started on that.
Y'all see, that's that motivational Marcus right there. He just dropped that motivationally. Y'all see how he did that to let us know it's us. We need to change some things in us.
Yeah,
too.
It's both parties. You know what I'm saying? It's
Okay.
both parties. You know what I'm saying? You got some real women out here, but then you got some girls. You know what I'm saying? That think they women. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about, like I tell anybody, what are you willing to put up with, and what are you willing to deal with? That's what it is. And you got to be hard on that.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? You got to be hard on that because it bites you in your ass, and you
Every
can't be
time.
mad at nobody but yourself.
That's right. So, what made you want to have your own barbershop versus working in one? Because some people just don't want to be a boss. Everybody don't want to take on the entrepreneurial part. They want to just go cut hair and make their money and go home.
Yeah.
What made you want to say, well, you know what, this is mine. All of this is me.
Really, for me, it was like every shop I worked in, I was always like, they always wanted to make me like the shop manager. So after going to like 3 shops and realized like I'm the dominant one in every shop I go to, that was kind of like, I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I'm ready. So I just dove into it, and trust me, my first time, shit, it wasn't successful.
It was. Y'all hear that? The first time was because
successful.
people think they're gonna go right into business and start making all this long money and have all these customers.
Nah.
So give them the game.
For me, like my first time, I never forget. I saved up. I had my first $10,000. I ain't had $10,000 48 hours. I told my baby mom, I said, I went to sleep one day. I woke up. I said, I'm gonna open up a shop. I always this is important for any barber, any stylist. Wherever you at, I don't care if you're the owner or you're not. Always get to know the person they paying their rent to, and it all starts from, hey, how you doing? You doing all right? Just speaking every day. So I always did that. So, like I say, I finally saved up me some money, went to sleep on it, woke up, and I said I wanted to open up a shop. I went around, got this shop, but long story short, I spent About $9,000 opened up my first shop, and it stayed open 9 months.
Okay.
So I realized that I thought I was ready, but I wasn't ready because see, I'm just thinking about cutting hair and getting the money and getting people in here. I wasn't thinking about the motherfuckers that's going to be outside trying to sell dope, the people that just want to hang around the shop all day.
Making your shop look bad.
I'm 23, so they really not want to take authority from me, and it's my, my establishment. So after about, like I say, 9 months, I sit back, and then I waited. I went worked for another shop. I think about a year and a half when I came back, I knew I had grew so much because that $9,000 I spent on one shop, I came back and I had got 2 shops and had not even spent that much money.
Oh, wow. So would you say the failure made you successful in your next journey?
Yes.
So you had to see that's the problem with some of us. We don't want to fall.
No, you got
we do not want to, because sometimes we can get all the way up here, and then when we get down, we don't want to get down.
Yeah.
But sometimes I think when we get down, it becomes a learning lesson.
It is.
It helps us to grow. Sometimes you have to be a follower in order to be a leader. Because I've always been told you can't lead unless you know how to follow.
Mm-hmm. You're right. And that's the problem. Everybody want to
lead.
Everybody want to be lead. Everybody want to lead. Nobody want to follow. I know how to be a worker. I know how to be a boss. I had a car wash on Colonel Glenn. And that's one thing I like about me. Like, you go to any one of my establishments, any business, and people will not know. Like, they always surprised that I'm the owner.
Because you out here working, you doing the floors, you doing everything.
I'm out there getting it in.
Taking out the trash.
I'm getting it in. You know what I'm saying? So, because like you say, you got to be able to play the position. And the only way you really going to know is in business. Like, a lot of these positions, you either have to play to know them before you put somebody else in them, or you have to come up with a system.
Right. Okay. A system.
You know what I'm saying? A system, us as like Black people, like, that's what I've been deep into, like business and how to really run a, successful business, like, and take it to the next level. And it's all based around a system. Every business should have a system, and it's a thing to say, if your business don't have a system, you don't have a business.
You don't have a business. You have to have a system.
You got
to be a plan in order.
You got to be a plan in order. So
then I tell y'all he was going to come in today and drop some real jewels. So for the ones that want to become an entrepreneur, open up your barbershop, a car wash, entertainment, because you in entertainment too, because we're gonna tap on everything. You in entertainment as well.
Yes, ma'am.
So how did you jump from washing cars to having a barbershop? Now you telling jokes.
I don't tell jokes. I produce the show.
Oh, you produced? See, I didn't even know that. I thought you was on stage telling jokes and everything. Yeah, so you the man with the plan.
I'm the man with the plan.
Yeah, the man with the. And how old are you?
33.
33 years old. Do y'all not hear this man? He is 33, and he's had several businesses that he owned. He was an entrepreneur, started at 11, and he didn't even know it. God had that mindset on him at age 11. And he at the age that he is now, he's still following his dream. He didn't let obstacles deter him. A lot of people allow obstacles to deter them. They feel like, I got in this trouble. I did this. My back is up against the wall. I got a black eye on me now. There is no way of turning back.
Yeah.
This is proof right here. He's proof that, you don't have to always stay stuck where you are. So let's get into funny money.
Money.
What made you come up with that name, Funny Money? Because when I think of funny money, I think of scamming and illegal money. Funny money. But you said funny money. Bring that money and I'm gonna give you funny.
Yeah, bring that money. You come get this money.
You heard?
Yeah. It's just my mind always going. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of my biggest problems. My mind, I don't know how to tame it sometimes. But Funny Money started. I started Funny Money about 7-8 years ago. It all ties together. Everything started from the barbershop. Everything started from the barbershop. When I first started doing comedy shows, I was actually throwing them out of a barbershop.
A little barbershop. You doing comedy shows? It
was a nice sized barbershop.
So you had a big barbershop.
It was nice. And then at the time, to be completely honest, like, Okay, I opened up my first shop. Just take you back. I opened up my first shop. It closed after 9 months. After 9 months, it closed. I went and worked on Fair Park for maybe like a year, and then I went from there and went to work for another guy that was on Colonel Glenn. Now I take that back. When I closed my shop, I went straight to Colonel Glenn. So I had a whole barbershop I closed. I got 5, 6 barbers. You know what I'm saying? So my thing was, I was like, I ain't gonna leave y'all high and dry.
Okay.
Wherever I go, y'all go.
Y'all go.
So I went, found the shop. I'm talking about this all in the same day.
Not
Closed the shop
and found work
went
the
found
same
another
day.
shop, and the guy, shout out my guy Lucky. He from the country, and he was a young guy hustler. He trying to do something right, and you know. So he had a shop on Colonel Glenn, and he had a vision, but he was from the country. He didn't know the people. So he was just out there washing cars until hopefully the barber side pick up.
Okay.
And then he had a tattoo artist in there. Shout out my boy John James. He's Ink Therapy on University right now. So I went work for him. And when I went over there, I took my whole barbershop over there. And I seen I kind of helped, you know, fulfill his dream of what he had been trying to do. And he just thanked me, man. I really appreciate you, man. I really appreciate you. And so I worked over there with Luck for about a year and a half, 2 years. So he actually originally had the whole setup. I brought him the barbershop. He had a tattoo artist. He was washing cars outside, and then he had an open space.
Okay.
So I said, you know what?
Some got the ticking in your head.
Got the ticking. You know, I was already coming up. I threw college parties.
Okay.
You know, so I had already had a thing for throwing parties.
You had that.
So now I'm looking for more of a grown crowd. And I'm like, you know, I never forget it was one year I think Mike Epps came, and I missed the show. And I was like, damn, man, why the only time we ever hear about comedy is when one of these big names come? I said, why we don't, you know, have comedy? And then I said, man, I'm going to throw a comedy show. And I made a post. And I said, I'm going to throw a comedy show. Recommendations on the host. And the post went crazy.
Oh, wow.
You know, and I got the host, through the party. I mean, through the first comedy show, and the outcome that I got from the comedians, they was all just thanking me like, man, appreciate you, man. I love this room, man. Ain't no place we can go like this, you know, just black people, you know, and so the feedback I got from them, I was like, I got to keep it going.
Got to keep it going.
And I kept it going, you know, it was 7 years ago. So I go off and on. I might go for a year or two, stop, you know, life, but I keep it in the loop. I'm on break right now, trying to bring it back.
Because I hadn't got a chance to witness one of those shows, but when I tell you, I've heard they are good shows. The vibe was nice, the drinks was good, and it was a nice environment.
It's a good time. I love them comedy shows. It get a little overwhelming sometimes, you know, when you're dealing with black people.
Oh yeah.
And you know, I guess I kind of just have to fall back because like people don't understand. I spend my hard-earned money. I spend my money. I ain't got nothing. You know what I'm saying? So. Just a lot of time to get the slap in the face from a lot of comedians to be like, I feel like you should have did this or you did this. Hold up, motherfucker, I ain't got to be, you know what I'm saying, taking my money, creating no platform. So sometimes you gotta let a motherfucker know, like, you know, I ain't got to do this now.
I ain't got to do this. I'm doing this because I want to see y'all grow and be successful. I'm trying to help y'all while I help myself, but I don't have to.
And I don't want to hurt myself trying to help nobody.
Don't want to hurt yourself. There you go.
So I just, you know, take a break every now and then. Try not to let it get the best of me because I'm passionate about it, you know.
Oh, so. Yeah. We know you passionate about it. So when is Smoking and Joking coming back?
Smoking and Joking, you have to holler at my boy D. So funny. I let him kind of.
Okay. Because the Smoking and Joking, I see, you know, that's a new thing now. Everybody's smoking.
Yeah, I ain't want that reputation on me like that. Okay. I'm out here in the public, I'm doing too much, and I had to just realize, like, I don't know if it's cool for somebody. You know what I'm saying? I got all this going, and you come smoking Joking, I'm back here just
blazing up.
Yeah, I ain't want. I did a couple shows, and I was like.
You didn't like how it feels.
Really, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't you. It's stuff I like to do when I'm at home, and you know, I don't no judgment zone. So I just kind of step back from it.
So let's talk about that. So do you feel that, you know, if you chose to be yourself while you're out, you'll be judged? And you know you're gonna be judged.
I mean,
because they're gonna keep that stigma on you.
It just all depends. Like when I'm out in public, I do carry myself a certain type of way. When I'm at home, you know what I'm saying, we still in the world opinions like assholes.
That's
Everybody
right.
got one.
Everybody got one.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm always type of person to try to control the narrative.
So you can carry yourself no matter what room you in.
Yeah, I'm not really, you know what I'm saying, like you can make up some shit, but if it's up to me, you know what I'm saying, the way I carry myself and the way I treat people when I'm out and doing these things, like that's important to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't. You might catch me in the club going wild. You know, I'm in the club. Because I'm in that space.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So, and we see, you know, Marcus has not just stopped. He ain't gonna tell, because I wanted him to tell everything, because I guess I'm gonna have to pull it out of you. You did go back and get another trade. Is that correct?
Yes.
You see, he started going back to school. Study going and continue education. So tell us about the other craft that you got going on.
Shout out my boy D Hall. He threw the epoxy class, doing the epoxy flows, man. It's something great. You know what I'm saying? It's a trade. You know, and I mainly took that type of trade for my personal use. You know what I'm saying? Because I plan on getting a house built soon. I got a barbershop. You know what I'm saying? So it always helped. You know, if I ain't never scared of doing the work.
Ain't never scared of do, because I saw how you got having floors look.
Yeah, I do the work.
I seen, look, my people, VJ and Yolanda floors, and baby look like glass down there.
Shout out VJ and Yolanda, man.
Yes.
Big supporters.
Yes.
You know.
Look like glass down there. Look, you know I support, because
come on now.
Look, you know them my people.
Look,
stay on, baby. Yes.
And that hits on this topic. The topic of this podcast was the original topic was come on, help me.
Of his or this one?
This one right here.
It's right there, baby.
Right there.
Staying grounded in your purpose.
Staying grounded in your purpose. It's still tied to who the fuck am I? Because before you even find your purpose, you're gonna have to find out who the fuck you is.
So how did you end up finding out who Marcus was?
Help. Thanks to the help of God. You know what I'm saying?
Say that one more time.
Thanks to the help of God.
Because people seem to think God don't need to be in the middle of it. Yeah. He don't got to be there.
Because he was working for me, you know, when I ain't even know. And then when it all came together and I can replay it back in my mind, I can say that was none but God.
One number God. So let me ask you about your purpose. What keeps you grounded in your purpose?
Always just want more. You know what I'm saying? Staying level-headed, staying humble. That's my biggest thing, is kind of just staying humble, keep me grounded, always searching education, and staying in tune with myself for most of all. You know, sometimes us as human beings, we can get off track.
A lot of times.
You know, so it's up to you, like, to pull yourself back, you know, like.
So, you know, we talked about the woman in your life, the impact that she has, but you have 2 daughters.
Yes, ma'am.
So having girls, because I think, you know, men have to be different when they have girls versus when they have boys. So how important we know how important those little girls are to you, but tell me how staying in your purpose, do they have an effect on that?
Yes, big effect. Because, you know, that's what I do it for, you know, and I want them to know, you know, what a real man look like, you know what I'm saying, and what's supposed to be done, what not supposed to be done, you know. So I had them talk to them and let them know every step of the way, you know, what I'm doing. Dad got to go to work today. I ain't got no money. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got to be, you know, a lot of fathers, they want to be Superman and just, oh, daddy got it. No, you got to let them know, because, see, when they get older, they're so used to you telling them you ain't got it. Now they can understand when you tell them no.
They understand.
So they got to know how to take their no just like their yes. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I'm only telling you no to tell you yeah. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Eventually. So they got to know that, you know. So yeah, them girls, that's all, you know, that's everything. Right?
Yeah, because, you know, when you have girls, sometimes I think girls help make boys into men.
Yes.
You know, because when they have boys, sometimes they tend to still be young-minded. They still don't be on track to think of the bigger picture. But I think having girls, it grow you up fast.
Yeah, it do. because you got to prepare them.
Oh yeah.
You got to prepare them.
Because they look, girls look at how daddy treat his woman, how, like you say, the role daddy play in their lives, the role daddy play in the streets. So, and I see you try to continue to be a great role model for them, and you lead by example.
Mm-hmm.
So does it ever get hard?
Yeah, it get hard sometimes. I mean, yeah, it get hard, because it's, especially if you ain't with if you ain't with the parent, the other parent, child get older, they might go through their little segments where you have to pull them back. They go through time where they sad, and they women, what I'm saying, they young women growing up, especially these girls. So you got to know when to be sensitive with them.
Yeah, definitely got to know when to be sensitive. So, can't be too hard.
Yeah, and I'll be sometimes one of my little daughter, I'll be hard on them. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, you too sensitive. You too sensitive. You know what I'm saying? But she daddy love her, and I kind of encourage her just to be like, like even like she was getting her hair done yesterday. I had to tell her like, hey, you getting older. Like you always gonna have to get your hair done, sweetie. So you gotta kind of tough it out.
Yeah,
and I talked to her along the way. Let you cry. I get on you now. And I tell them your last name White.
I saw that because you said you leaving a legacy, and you want them to know what their last name is, because their last name means something.
Last name means something.
That's right. That's right. So let me ask you this. What's next for Marcus? Because we know Marcus stay thinking. Marcus keep something going on in the back of his head. What's next?
Next, I'm really trying to dominate I'm into financial literacy right now. So I'm really looking to, dominate the industry here, in Arkansas and for my people, because we missing out, this wasn't taught in school, and a lot of people don't have the resources to go get it. Like the understanding between financial literacy and amongst our people is so crazy. Like it's ridiculous crazy. Like a lot of people don't know pass a credit score. They don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like once a person get a house and a car, they don't know what else to do with it.
They think that's it.
They think that's it.
You
know what I'm saying? And so it's like, but this is how these, $1 million corporations is getting built. You know what I'm saying? And how that's really the financial freedom. That's the key to financial freedom. When they say everybody got the same opportunity, literally everybody has the same opportunity.
So are you learning this? Are you learning this to teach, or are you learning this to gatekeep?
I'm learning to teach.
I knew he was gonna say to teach.
Yeah, I'm learning.
Motivational Marcus. He gonna motivate y'all, and he gonna teach y'all. He studied learning to come back and teach the younger generation, because they're lost right now.
Yeah, they lost, but it's young ones out here to get it. Like I say, they just got to be exposed to it. Right now, I'm saying they being exposed to. You know what I'm saying? Like youngsters come around me, I tell them all now, especially when they graduate now. I tell them, hey, get to know everything you can know about credit. You need to know about this. You know what I'm saying? Like understanding money. Like that's the big thing, is understanding money, and it's such a hard subject. Amongst us, like nobody want to talk about money unless you talk about getting them some,
give them some free. That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
They don't want to work for it. They don't want to earn it.
Like, but that's the thing. You don't have to work for it. You don't have to do physical work for it. You know what I'm saying?
Mental.
You just got this mental. You got to learn. It's a thing called OPM. That's other people's money, and that's what the rich people do. They learn how to leverage OPM, and that's leveraging others people's money. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what the banks are, lending institutions. They here to lend you money. But why are people scared of the banks? We go in the bank, we don't ask no questions.
Just want really cash or check.
We just give them our money. Can I get this? Sometimes we scared to do that. Like they're gonna say we ain't got no money left. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the gap is like crazy.
It's because they hadn't been taught.
They haven't been taught. So it's like let's do something to teach them. Let's do something to teach, especially ones that want to be taught. You know what I'm saying?
Make them a product of their environment, of a great environment. Because sometimes you can be a product of a great environment.
Yes.
Your environment and what you're around is what you grow and you learn from. So how important do you think it is to surround yourself with the right crowd and the right people?
It's really important.
Because, sometimes our old friends and still want to be around.
Yeah, and you ain't got to cut them off. Trust me. So you ain't got to cut them off. Sometimes you just let them cut themselves off. You still my partner. We just don't hang as much. But you'll see me starting to, conversation with these brothers right here. And you see, what we talking about, and you see the energy. And you know what I'm saying? If you find yourself standing over there in a corner because you don't have nothing to put into the conversation, then you'll eventually fade on away. You know what I'm saying? So you do it on your own, because it's important. Like, it's really important. They say, you show me your 5 closest friends, I'll show you where you'll be in the next 5 years.
And that's so true.
And it's true.
And that is so true.
It's true. So it's our life. We gotta guard it. Like, we gotta be a little bit more serious about life and saying, where do I really want to be? Because like I say, you only gonna grow to what you're supposed to.
So what would you say to these young kids? Because now, social media is such a big platform. You watch them jump out of cars to fight. You see them jumping people in the club, jumping them outside, call them up, saying drop your location. I always thought that was the craziest thing in the world, drop your location.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think is going on right now in this generation?
The internet raising the kids. They think everything's a game until shit really happens. They don't understand. Like, I'm so aware of this. You can lose your life in 5 seconds, and once you really realize that you can lose your life in 5 seconds, some of these motherfuckers just got to see it being done. So, just be next to motherfuckers, see them get their brains, brains blowed out or something. Like, it's crazy, but like, I guess like once you see shit and you grow up, like, it's different.
It's like they can't wait to go to jail.
They think it's Grand Theft Auto.
They can't wait to go to jail.
That was the worst game ever could have came out. It's Grand Theft Auto, because that's literally what these, kids are doing right now. Like, you can't even talk to them. Like, you talk to them, like, they not trying to hear it. Like,
they not trying, and they got no respect.
And the bad thing about it, they don't got no source to get no money. You got no source. They get a gun, they think they rich. You know what I'm saying? It's sad, because even the older guys like me right now, my age and older, like, shit, we scared to talk to y'all. You know what I'm saying? We scared to talk to them. And it's like, we got to do better, man. But shit, I don't want to risk my life.
You don't want to risk your life.
You know what I'm saying? Because you say one wrong thing to them, we seen it every day. I'm in the barbershop store down the hall. When kids get out, man, I'm talking about have a gun and come from here, go all the way down to your legs. And I'm like, why do you need that to walk in? They done did so much, they can't even just be out here in public no more, because it's like, they don't know who trying to get them. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm talk to guys like this, I'm like, man, why you gotta, do this and do that? They just don't know. Like, they don't know when gonna be the last day. You know what I'm saying? Because Little Rock small.
It's very small.
You know what I'm saying? So it ain't nothing. So I just tell them, like, hey, I don't need you around me.
That's right. So how far are you planning on taking Motivational Marcus? Because with the mindset that you have and the knowledge you have, I can see that going way further than just on social media.
Oh yeah, I eventually, like, honestly, I want to be like speaking to like large audiences one day, like 2,000-3,000 people.
Start with the kids.
I watch a lot of motivation. Like, that's like a big part of my day. Like, every day, like, I'm gonna watch the motivation, because I understand that what you put in you is important. You know what I'm saying? You can put on the shoot up, kill. You be ready, your drilling to be rushing.
You can't wait you ready to go kill something.
You know what I'm saying? So, I just try to, monitor what I put in me, like, as far as like what I listen to, what I watch to. Like, I don't listen to music. Like, when I'm driving, like, even my daughters know, like, Daddy kind of boring. Because I ain't listen to no music. I got to be able to hear myself think. If I'm driving, the music bumping, I can't think. I can't think. I can't think. I need to be thinking, you know what I'm saying? So it just, you got to channel that. You got to channel it.
That's true. That's true. So if we had to sum up Marcus in one word, what word would that be?
Humble.
Humble. And why would you say humble?
Because I'm humble. I've been in business for a long time. I came up in an era where I was one of the youngest person around here doing business. Like I remember young me going down in the city hall, filing for license at the zoning office. They giving me problems.
Because you're too
I
young.
don't went to war with these people, and I had to understand. I said, "You just young, man. You just young. They don't think you know what I'm saying." Every time I had to think about it, I said, "Every time you turn around, you coming in there talking about you want another license."
And they saw something wrong with a young black man coming in this place, continue to want to work for himself.
Yes.
Be an entrepreneur.
Yes.
They thought something was wrong with that. Something was up.
They was giving me hell, but now the same guys looking at me like, boy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm still here. I wasn't just pulling y'all strings. I wasn't trying to, sell dope and making a trap, but just being humble and my biggest thing is always being open to learn. Like never stop learning. Like that's big.
Never stop learning. Y'all heard it? He said, never stop learning. Keep growing and keep learning. Because, the sky's the limit. Especially with these young people of today. They got so many different opportunities to where we didn't have. Great opportunities. And Marcus, he is, like I say, y'all, in the beginning, he is living proof. You do not have to allow your situation to determine your future. You can change. Honey, we got so many comments. I thank y'all so much for tuning in. Honey, y'all have been so great to support what we have going on. And I thank y'all. Y'all know I love y'all from the bottom of my heart. So, Marcus, is there anything else that you would like to say or you want our viewers to know?
I appreciate y'all for tuning in to the Chatter Box. I hope I dropped some good game on y'all today. Make sure y'all check me out on all social media platforms. And I'm gonna continue to keep working and stay blessed. Like I say, don't never be afraid to reach out to me. Any questions, anything y'all want. I'm the type of guy that I'm gonna give you that game if I can. You know what I'm saying? So
they can just DM you and
just DM
him. Y'all heard it, fellas.
Just
DM him. Anything y'all want. And even the older guys that have young boys, because sometimes our kids don't listen to us. They'll listen to somebody else. So, fellas, if you have a son that you know is going down the wrong road, they don't want to listen to, because sometimes kids don't want to listen to people that they feel like hadn't went through the same thing. They feel like you don't know nothing. You doing this. You ain't never been through that. So, baby, we got somebody that has gone through war, has went through the fire, and came out unscathed. Do you see him?
Yes,
he came out without a bruise on him and continued to grow, to continue to glow, and continue to be a great entrepreneur. We love that for our black men. We need a lot of you out here. So thank you, Marcus. Thank you not only for coming on this show and dropping jewels. Thank you for turning your life around and showing our young boys that it can be done.
Yes, ma'am.
It can be done.
It can be
living
done.
Proof.
Yeah, we working.
Y'all hearing we working and making money.
We working.
And is that the key?
Yes,
financial
literacy.
You hear?
Financial literacy. That's the key.
Y'all get involved. Get involved. Change your mindset. Change your surroundings. Change the people that you're surrounding yourself with. And that's my time. Y'all remember, it's not what's on you, it's what's in you. So let's try to continue to have great and positive things in you, and drink your water because it's hot. Drink y'all water because it is hot out there.
Drink that water.
And look, don't sweat the small stuff. And that's our time. LaQuinta Chatterbox. I'm your girl, LaQuinta. Tune in every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Because, honey, we'll have another fantastic, amazing man on here next week. So I will see y'all next week. That's our time.
Be blessed. Yes, ma'am. One for the books.